Hi everyone and welcome back for another video. I'm doing this from my car because I've just come from a very long drive and I just kind of want to download my thoughts because, you know, I thought I'd talk to you guys. Right, so a couple of things. Now I was talking to my dad recently and I think there's something that you really should do is try and talk to your parents about, you know, their life before you, just to understand them a little bit more, because I know African parents generally don't like to talk to their kids. Or not that they don't like to talk to their kids, but they generally don't really talk to their kids because, you know, children are supposed to be like respectful of adults and not to have conversations that are on the level of adults, right? So it doesn't matter how old you are, you know, for you to sit down and try and talk to your parents like, you know, they're your equal, it's kind of disrespectful. So, you know, I remember like when I was younger and I would try and ask my parents certain questions, you know, they'd be like, why are you asking me these questions? Am I your age mate? Did you see me in the class with you? Go and read your book. You know, and that was always a sort of like response, like, you know, the default response to any question that was slightly awkward or, you know, embarrassing to your parent was, go and read your book. Stupid girl. You know, so it was always like you didn't really talk to your parents. But as I've got older, my parents have, you know, mellowed out, and, you know, maybe because they're old and, you know, they're tired and, you know, just can't be bothered, you know, with their strict African ways. You know, they're a lot more open and easier to talk to. So I was talking to my dad about why he called me Caroline, and he said that he read in a book, like, you know, several years before he even met my mum, about a character called Caroline who was quite who was sort of like seeking justice for some sort of wrong that had been committed against her. And she was quite a sort of like tenacious and like forthright and strong character. And so when I was born, he decided that was going to be my name. And I was like, oh, Daddy, you're so cute. Oh. So yeah, I thought that was really nice. And, you know, it just made me think that, you know, guys, if you really don't talk to your parents about, you know, their life before they had you, then you really should, because, you know, you might not get that opportunity again. So yeah, that was a really sweet thing. What else? Wedding wise, so I have been trying on a few wedding dresses, and I tried on a few, and the very first dress that I tried on, I was like, oh my god, this dress is fabulous, I love this dress, I must have this dress. And then I tried on a few others, and then I retried on the dress that I thought was fabulous. And I was like, God, I hate this dress. It's like so big and over the top and ostentatious, and it was just like so blingy, you know. And I thought, I'm not that person. I'm not that person who loves things that are over the top, you know. But then on the other hand, I'm also quite, I don't know, I feel like on my wedding day I should be making a statement. So I kind of have an idea now in my head of what it is that I want for my wedding dress. And so I will be making that decision, but I'll tell you more about that maybe towards the actual wedding day, or maybe on the wedding day. Right, so that's that. And what else? Yeah, so wedding venue costs in Ghana are ridiculous. Now when I say ridiculous, I mean they're the same price as what you would pay here. Like seriously. Like if you would spend £13,000, £14,000 on a hotel venue in England, then you expect, like, you know, and that includes all your flowers and all of your wedding arrangements and everything, expect to pay the same in Ghana. Seriously, like, for those of you who are maybe, you know, ever considering getting married in Ghana, be prepared to pay. I don't like labels like first world and second world, but that is basically what it is. Like, you'll be paying like European or American prices for Ghana. There isn't the infrastructure or the kind of, like, you know, the things that you would expect to have in a country to justify those costs. So I'm just trying to understand, like, who is paying this? Like, you know, how is it even possible that somebody could afford it? And, you know, it just made me think that it must be like, you know, the top 5% of the country that's able to afford this. And obviously foreigners, you know, who can afford these kind of prices, because the ordinary Ghanaian cannot afford it. So, then just got me thinking about, the low cost of living and how, you can justify these kind of hotel prices. Like, for example, like to rent a hotel room in some of these hotels, like, like the 5-star ones, you're paying the same 5-star prices as you would in England. In fact, in some cases, the hotel rooms are more expensive. And I struggle to sort of understand why that would be, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, sorry, chewing as I'm talking. I really hate it when people do that. Sorry. I'll shift it to a corner of my mouth somewhere. Okay. So yeah, that's one gripe. And what else? Let's see. Yeah, so I talked about that. Oh yeah, the other thing is, so somebody just, like, if you live in Ghana or Nigeria or whatever and you're a subscriber, or even if you just happen to come across this video by whatever means, like, when I go home, I say to my family, what is it that you want me to bring you when I'm coming? Like, is there something that you want? And why is it that they ask for things like iPads or iPhones or a laptop? Why is it always something in that sort of category? Like, some sort of like consumer electronic good that, is going to cost me more than £500 to buy. But I'm just trying to, okay, I suppose you probably can get a laptop for less. Like, let's say if you didn't buy like a proper name brand one, or maybe you can get like a name brand one for maybe under £300 or maybe under £400. Yeah, it's possible. But that's not the point. The point is that it costs several £100s to buy. So I just think to myself, I spend $7.50 thereabouts for a plane ticket. Then I buy your iPad or laptop or whatever it is that you've asked me for. Then everybody else has asked me to buy them something. So by the time I've finished, I'm broke. Yeah? That's before I've even landed in the country. I'm broke. So where am I supposed to find money to buy food and, like take care of my transportation? Because I can't rely on you for my transportation because you're obviously at work, right? And you need your car to get to work. So I have to source my own transportation. In the meantime, I've also got to eat. Then I've got to also pay for my accommodation. So the trip ends up being very expensive. So it's almost like if you know that you're going back home, and the thing is, like, as Africans, we're always taught that if you make it abroad, you're supposed to, well, I say we're always taught, like, it's just like, okay, in my family, my mum has always said to me that you must always help those who are less fortunate than you. Now, I remember, like, times at Christmas, when we were, like, we newly arrived to the country, really poor, had no money, and, my mum would always scrape together money to send things to her, her family back home. And she would always remind me that even though I'm complaining that I'm not getting a Christmas present that year, or I wasn't getting something that I wanted, there are people who are less fortunate than me. And I remember she always said that to me, and I guess as a kid I didn't really understand, but it's only as an adult that I now understand, what she means. And she sacrificed, she, like, her children, the ones she birthed, didn't get certain things so that she could send money back home to her relatives, and that's something that I take from my mum, that, if you can help people, then you should. And I do. Like, so, if you ask me to pay your school fees, I'll pay your school fees. It's not like I have money, like, lying about. But if you ask me to, I will pay your school fees. I'll squeeze and find the money. But when it's things like laptops and iPads and, basically things that are, everybody wants to have nice things and they want to have the latest things. But I just feel like, do you think that those things are in the category of, let's say, something throwaway, like, I don't know, a pair of shoes or a bag? Is it in that category? Like, for you to ask me, like, do you think that people in Europe make that much money? Because by the time the government is finished taking 40% tax, and then on top of that, I then pay, other sort of like local taxes that you pay. And then you pay for your car. Then you pay for, what else? I don't know. You pay for, like, your accommodation, yeah? Your mortgage or your rent or whatever it is that you've got. By the time you finish paying for all of that, you barely, like, got any money to have the kinds of things that you yourself would like to have. I'd like to have a new laptop. I'd also like to have a new iPad, but you can only just afford those things for yourself. So to now like buy them again for somebody else is actually quite a big ask. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to understand the psychology of it. That, you know, you think that people in Europe earn so much money that, you know, things that, you know, you would never, that would be the equivalent of somebody's monthly salary. And you'd have to be like doing even quite well. Like say, like, you know, if an iPad's like £500, that's probably like something like a police officer's salary, you know? Actually, I think a police officer earns something like £350 and an iPad is like £500. So in that context, it's more than somebody's monthly salary. So, and that's somebody who's doing well, I guess, by, you know, local standards. So I don't know, I just find it really weird when they ask for things like that. And I'm just trying to understand the psychology of it, you know, because, you know, people aren't rich in the West, you know. The taxes, Charlie, the taxes, eh? You don't know. You don't know. Huh? So, anyway, that's just one of my gripes about, you know, things generally. But yeah, I finished my rant for today. But anyway, if you have any you know, any responses to that, what I should do about this chick at work, or, you know, any experiences of, you know, life with your relatives and how you sort of manage their expectations, let me know. But yeah, I'll catch you for the next video. All right, see you later. Bye.